There's a quiet revolution happening in the world of soil restoration, and it's not coming from bags of fertilizer or shiny new tools. It's rooted in one of the oldest, most misunderstood materials on Earth, clay. For decades, gardeners and farmers have cursed clay soil, calling it heavy, unworkable and lifeless. But hidden beneath that reputation lies an extraordinary secret. When treated right, clay becomes one of the most fertile, self-healing and moisture-retaining growing mediums you could ever ask for. The no-dig clay solution, once common knowledge among early agrarian societies, was quietly forgotten as industrial farming took over. But those who've rediscovered it are finding that it turns compacted, dead earth into thriving, living soil without a single shovel stroke. The problem with modern soil management is the assumption that digging improves things. In reality, constant tilling destroys the natural structure of clay. Clay particles are microscopic, flat and electrically charged. They stick together tightly and hold nutrients better than any other soil type. When you dig or till it, you break apart the intricate channels created by fungi, worms and microorganisms. These networks are what allow oxygen and water to move freely. Once disrupted, the clay hardens, bakes under the sun, and turns into the brick-like mess everyone complains about. Traditional farmers understood this balance. They never fought clay, they fed it. They layered organic matter on top of it and let the soil life beneath do the work. That's the core of the no-dig clay solution. Stop breaking the structure and start feeding the system. By creating conditions for fungi and worms to thrive, clay transforms itself naturally from dense and sterile into dark, crumbly loam that rivals the richest farmland on Earth. Clay has one remarkable ability that sand and loam lack. It holds on to nutrients like a magnet. This property, called cation exchange capacity, means that once organic matter starts decomposing on the surface, clay grabs onto the released minerals instead of letting them leach away. But here's where the magic really happens. As organic matter continues to break down, it forms humic acids. These acids bind with clay, changing its texture from sticky and hard to granular and airy. The result is a soil structure that holds water when it's dry and drains when it's wet. A balance every gardener dreams of. This transformation doesn't require digging, additives, or synthetic fertilizers. All it needs is time, moisture, and consistent organic layering. You're not forcing the soil to change, you're guiding it to heal. And unlike chemical quick fixes, this process doesn't fade with rain or heat. It builds permanent fertility that only gets better each season. So, to begin, you want to start by choosing the area where you want to build living soil. Now, don't break the surface, really just leave it be. Instead, clear away any tall weeds or brush, and then lay down a base layer of organic material. Cardboard, straw, or even old leaves work perfectly well. This first layer, well, it smothers weeds and begins to soften the top of the clay through microbial action. Next, you'll want to add a generous layer of nitrogen-rich material. Things like kitchen scraps, green grass clippings, or partially decomposed manure. After that, follow with a layer of brown material, such as dried leaves or wood chips. Be sure to keep the layers moist, but not soaked. The idea here is to mimic how forests build soil, slowly, naturally, from the top down. Within a few weeks, you'll notice worms tunneling up through the clay to feed. As they move, they aerate and mix organic matter into the upper layer. Microbes will multiply, breaking down carbon and nitrogen until the clay begins to lose its compacted nature. The key, really, is to never dig or till. Just let gravity, moisture and biology do what they've done for thousands of years. If your region has very hard clay, you can, sprinkle gypsum powder across the surface before adding your layers. Gypsum helps flocculate the clay particles, improving drainage and aeration without disturbing the soil structure. Over time, the top several inches will turn into soft, workable loam, rich in worms, fungi, and microbial life. Fertilizers deliver nutrients, but they don't build structure. Without structure, nutrients wash away with the next rain. Clay, when treated with the no-dig method, becomes a living storage system. Each season, the soil becomes more porous and resilient. During droughts, it holds water like a sponge. During floods, it drains naturally through the tunnels created by worms. Unlike commercial amendments that must be reapplied, the no-dig system compounds its benefits over time. The more organic matter you add, the faster the cycle of fertility builds. You're not just feeding plants, you're feeding the ecosystem that sustains them. Even in areas with extreme temperatures, this system creates a buffer that protects roots and stabilizes moisture levels. This is why old European and Asian farmers truly prized clay-rich land. It took a bit of effort to start, but once balanced, it could grow food indefinitely without exhausting the soil. Modern agriculture, in its rush for quick yields, seems to have forgotten this. But small-scale gardeners and regenerative farmers are bringing it back, and proving that patience and biology outperform machinery and chemicals every time. For anyone working with tough ground, this method really is a game-changer. You can establish garden beds directly on clay without any digging. Just layer organic material as described and plant into it once decomposition starts. Shallow-rooted crops like lettuce or beans can be planted in the first season, while deeper-rooted plants like carrots or fruit trees thrive in subsequent years as the clay loosens naturally. If you're building a survival garden or off-grid homestead, this technique saves enormous labour and water. The improved clay structure drastically reduces evaporation, meaning less irrigation is needed. It also resists erosion, even on sloped land. Some regenerative farms now use similar systems to restore degraded pastures, simply by layering compost and allowing grazing animals to trample organic matter into the soil's surface. Again, no digging required. In smaller backyard setups, you can, replicate the process in raised beds by filling the bottom with clay-rich subsoil and layering organic matter above. Within a season, the layers will merge into a living, self-sustaining growing medium that, honestly, far outperforms bagged soil. The deeper truth behind this forgotten technique is that, nature doesn't need us to fix it. It needs us to stop interrupting it. Clay is not the enemy of fertility, it's actually the foundation of it. When we work with it instead of against it, we unlock the same soil-building process that, sustained civilizations long before tractors or synthetic fertilizers even existed. This method stands as a reminder that honestly, some of the most powerful agricultural tools aren't inventions, they're rediscoveries. The no-dig clay solution isn't just about growing better plants. It's about returning to a way of working with the earth that, respects its natural intelligence. If this guide opened your eyes to the hidden power beneath your feet, don't forget to subscribe to Hydrohaven for more practical, time-tested techniques that, bridge history, survival and sustainability. Share this video with other growers who think clay is a curse. It's time they learned it's actually the soil's greatest untapped gift.